What's up, guys? It's Corky here with my first full-length feature film actual video that's not a shittily edited YouTube short. And today, the plan is just to rank every draft class from 2000 all the way to this year. And I'm going to do one, like, completely blind, no Pro Football Reference, ESPN. And then after I finish that, I'm gonna pull up Pro Football Reference, look through the players, and then rank them again, and then we'll see how they compare. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. This is the draft class, or I guess the tier maker for the draft classes. So it's greatest of all time, stacked, good, solid, below average, and trash. I spent only like 30 minutes making it. If you want to rank them yourself, just look up this title. Didn't mean to highlight literally everything on the page. So we'll start right with 2000. So obviously, Tom Brady is 2000, which, I mean, automatically, if the GOAT is in the draft class, it's going to have to be at least solid, even if the rest of it is trash. Now, I'm going to sound really stupid making this video because I'm going to get every single player from like 2000 to 2010 wrong in what draft class they were in. But I think Brian Urlacher was in 2000, 2001, somewhere around here. If he is in this draft class, it's stacked or goated. If he's not, it's probably good. But you know, we'll keep on the safe side just because it's Tom Brady. So it's gonna be good no matter what. 2001, I can't think of a single player drafted in 2001. I think Ed Reed. Terrell Suggs was either 2001 or 2003. I honestly don't know. If Ed Reed, we'll put it in solid or I'm trying to think. If I don't know any player off the top of my head from that draft class, you would think it would be below average or trash. But also I'm a casual. So we're just gonna stick it in solid. 2002. Oh, this is gonna be so rough, dude. I'm gonna have to edit all of this out. Alright, 2002 is solid. 2003. Okay, I know Terrell Suggs is in this class. I'm gonna put that in good. 2005. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. This is actually so embarrassing. We'll start from present to past. We'll do that. All right. So 2023. It's hard to judge it. A great quarterback class, obviously. Great wide receiver class. Decent running backs. Also, pretty good defense. I mean, Will Anderson, good cornerbacks, great cornerbacks. We're gonna put this in good, but obviously you can't really tell just before any player in that draft has played single down. 2022. I mean, it was a pretty competitive Rookie of the Year race, I feel like, with Kenneth Walker and Garrett Wilson, and then Woolen and Gardner. I mean, again, it was a really good wide receiver class with Chris Olave. I would say that's a good class. I feel like it was a pretty good class. Especially, there was, like, decent late round value just with Woolen. 2021, the Justin Fields highly contested quarterback race, right? Quarterbacks went first, second, fourth, I think, or first, second, third. I mean, Zach Wilson, second overall, bust. I feel like you can kind of safely say that. Trey Lance, I don't, I, I feel like he still has potential, and you can't just write him off now because Mr. Irrelevant took his job for 6 weeks and got carried by the best defense in the league. But I mean, Justin Fields looks good. I would say it's a solid draft. It's just the first couple, like when two of the top three quarterbacks taken after 2 years are already iffy. That's just not a good sign. 2020 Joe Burrow. Um, yeah, that was a pretty good draft. I feel like 2019, Jamal Adams. I mean, there's definitely highs and lows for it. We're gonna put that in good. Kyler Murray being the number one overall pick kind of makes me want to put it in below average. I feel like it is kind of below average. Like, obviously, they're good players. But, I mean, I'm basically just going off the first round for most of these. Like, it's just not that exciting of a first round draft. But I could be embarrassing myself right now. 2018, Calvin Ridley. Yeah, there were a lot of players. Jesus. That was a pretty good draft. Oh, Jonathan Taylor was he in 2018 or 2019? Or was he 2020? I have no idea. I'm a casual. This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. 2018, we're gonna skip it for now. 2017 is goated. I think in 5 more years, it's gonna be up there with the 83 class. I think it's probably the best draft class of all time, or it's going to be. I think 2016 is mixed with 2018. It doesn't matter. 2016 is a. There were some awful picks in this draft. I mean, Paxton Lynch, Tajae Sharp, Corey Coleman were all in this draft. But I mean, when you look at it, Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. I mean, they both had. Obviously, Jared Goff is better, but Carson Wentz also had success times in his career. Obviously, overall, I would say he's a disappointment. But I mean, Zeke, Dak Prescott were in this draft. Like, it's not terrible. Leonard Floyd. I would say it's either solid or below average. I feel like. I mean, there are some studs that came out of it. Joey Bosa. I'll say solid because there are some like future Hall of Famers in this class. I feel like, but I would say it's solid because I mean Jalen Ramsey and Joey Bosa are honestly boosting it a huge amount. So yeah, we'll say solid. Would it be good? I'm so conflicted. We'll just move on. 2018. My mind's blanking and it's kind of embarrassing. Feels like I'm on like a game show and I know the answers, but my brain won't like let the rest of my brain know what the answers are. So we're just gonna Jesus. Solid isn't big because so many draft classes are solid. It's solid because I'm stupid. 2015. Okay, Jameis Winston. Overall, underrated quarterback. He threw 30 picks, but he also threw 30 touchdowns. So, I mean, if you ignore the bad parts of his career and only look at the good parts, he's an amazing quarterback. Melvin Gordon was a first round pick at that time. Ryan Shazier was 2015. I feel like it was a decent class. Marcus Mariota obviously wasn't very good. Dante Fowler. I mean, the first 3 picks, like if you could describe the first 3 picks of the 2015 NFL draft, it would be disappointing, right? I mean, Jameis Winston, like, I feel like most people knew he was going to have ups and downs, but 30 picks is not what anyone was expecting. Like, but overall, he wasn't a terrible quarterback, and he's obviously gotten better with interceptions, or else he wouldn't be a backup quarterback or even fighting for a starting job. We'll put it in good. I feel like it was a little better than 2016. Or no, you know what? You know what? We're changing our order right now. I think 2016 was slightly better than 2015. I think we'll put that there. 2014 is stacked or goated. It was an amazing class. There were some busts, but overall, Jadeveon Clowney, overhated. I don't know if he's underrated, but he's definitely overhated. Obviously Aaron Donald, Zach Martin, Ryan Shazier before he got hurt. That's a pretty good class. Yeah, I feel like that's stacked or goated. I don't know. Honestly, Justin Gilbert by himself is bringing the class down. 2013 is trash. There were like 2 first-round studs. DeAndre Hopkins was good. I mean, the defensive rookie of the year that year was Sheldon Richardson, which should tell you a lot about the class, right? 2012. Wasn't anything crazy. And yes, I am stalling to try to think of the two what happened in the 2012 class. This is terrible. Solid. 2011. This is a stacked draft class. Julio Jones, Von Miller, Cam Newton. I mean, obviously that's a very nice draft class. 2010. We're going to ignore that. 2009. We're going to ignore that. 2008. That was Matt Ryan was the first overall pick that year. Obviously MVP. It's going to put in good right away. You can tell I'm struggling. This is really embarrassing. 2007. I know 2007. Okay, Calvin Johnson, Jamarcus Russell, Ted Ginn, Marshawn Lynch. Is this stacked or good? I feel like it's stacked, right? Jamarcus Russell, though, I feel like unequivocally the worst draft bust of all time, is going to bring it down to good by itself. So, I mean, Calvin Johnson and Marshawn Lynch are going to bring it up, but yeah. I mean, Brent Selleck was in that class, I think. So was Eric Weddle, but so it's good. But again, Jamarcus Russell by himself is bringing it down to from stacked down to good. 2006, we're putting these in solid. This is terrible. This is embarrassing. Now we can just get right into the version with Pro Football Reference. So I'm going to be able to see all the players from every draft class. We'll reset this, and let's get going. So we're going to keep 2023 in the same spot. We're just going to put in good or solid. We'll put in solid because we really don't know, right? 2022, we have a little more information on. Oh, how did I forget Aiden Hutchinson? Jesus. Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, the best way is definitely going to be to go by, like, weighted career approximate value, just because it tells you everything. Marcus Jones, I guess that's probably just based on punt returning. Yeah, I feel like it's probably going to stay the same. I'm still going to put it in good. I feel like it wasn't. I mean, like, again, we're not going to know for several years before we know if it's an incredible draft class, Alright, we're going to put that in good. 2021. Again, I feel like from some, like 2021, it's probably going to stay the same. Yeah. I'm going to keep it, I think, where I put it before, just in good. Alright, 2020. This one, I know I was forgetting players. My mind was blanking. Oh yeah, Justin Herbert was in this class. I forgot all those quarterbacks, dude. It was the other quarterback race. Burrow to Justin Herbert. So obviously, Henry Ruggs, Jesus, Damon Arnett, not a great draft for Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert, incredible. We'll see, pretty good. Like, I feel like incredible. I feel like it's pretty good class. I don't know if it's stacked. I feel like it's good. Like, I mean, in later rounds, there are some good players, right? You know what? I'm feeling a little bit frisky here. We're gonna throw 2020 in stacked. All right. 2019. Notice we're getting players for this too. It's embarrassing. Nick Bosa was 2019, not 2020. All right, whatever. Kyler Murray. I mean, as a Seahawks fan, I don't like him, but I also feel like he's not exactly a quarterback I would really want on my team. Devin White, underrated. Josh Allen, the linebacker. Hawkinsox. Yeah, this is also a pretty stacked class, I feel like. Actually, I feel like it's just good. There are like a couple players that jump out and not in a good way. N'Keal Harry. OJ Collier, kind of Marquise Brown, Montez Sweat, right? I mean, maybe I'm overhating, all right? But there are some great players. Rashawn Gary, Noah Fant, I feel like is underrated. Dexter Lawrence is nice. TJ Hawkinson, Ed Oliver, Josh Allen. We'll see with this fella here. Devin White, Quinn Williams, Nick Bosa. We're gonna put it in stack 2. I feel like that's a pretty good class. But again, it is kind of recency bias, right? Obviously. So we'll see if I stay consistent throughout the years. 2018. So this is Baker Mayfield Lamar draft, right? This is a really good draft class. Josh Allen, Lamar, right? Yeah. Bradley Chubb still could be amazing. Quentin Nelson obviously already is. Probably a top 5 guard. Josh Allen, overhated. Baker Mayfield, we don't talk about him. Saquon, coming back. Sam Darnold, we also don't talk about. Denzel Ward. Roquan Smith, underrated. Mike McGlinchey is pretty good. Josh Rosen, we are not going to mention. David Patrick's pretty good. Vita Vea. Honestly, pretty much all these guys are nice. So we're gonna throw that in stack 2. 2017. I mean, I don't really have to look at it. Besides Mr. Trubisky, this was an incredible class. I mean, just Patrick Mahomes alone, right? But obviously this is a great draft class. I mean, Myles Garrett, Leonard Fournette was good for a little bit. Jamal Adams, who I thought was drafted in 2019, that's kind of embarrassing. CMC, Mike Williams, a little bit underrated. I feel like Patrick Mahomes, amazing. DK Metcalf's son, Malik Hooker. I mean, a Hooker's always nice. Marlon Humphrey, Jonathan Allen's great. Adoree Jackson, I feel like he's slightly disappointing. But overall, I think this is a great draft class. I mean, especially like the later round picks were good. Budda Baker. Here, we can sort by weighted value. Yeah, I mean, TJ Watt. I didn't even scroll down that far. Yeah, Alvin Kamara. He won Rookie of the Year. Ryan Ramczyk. Dalvin Cook. Yeah, it's a great draft class. Aaron Jones, one of the best running backs in the league. Yeah, Budda Baker, like I said, Tre'Davious White. Yeah, this is also a stacked draft class. No, this is goated. I'm sorry, this is goated. Yeah, this is definitely a goated draft class. Previous season, 2016. I feel like I summarized this pretty good. I mentioned all these guys. DeForest Buckner, I didn't say. I did say Leonard Floyd, Eli Apple. I mean, just highlighting the bust in this class is kind of like, I don't know if you can say Leonard is a bust. I feel like he kind of is as a Bears fan. Bust. Dude, Eli Apple has made it so easy to hate him over the last 2 years. There's so many busts in this class that even though there are some studs like Joey Bosa, Zeke, it's kind of up and down, but he's still good. Jalen Ramsey, Ryan Saylor, Forrest Buckner, they're all very good. But yeah, just the amounts of busts that were picked in this class really makes it hard to highly rate it. So I'm gonna have to put it in below average. So hard to put these 3. I would say it's below average just because the amount of busts. Because even 2013, obviously there are good players, even great players, but it's still a bad draft class just because of how bad the first round picks were. All right, 2015, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Dante Fowler. Where's all these guys? Amari Cooper, pretty good. For sure, is great. Yeah, I mean, Todd Gurley, it's hard to evaluate his career, I feel like, because he had such a short career, but he also had such a good career. I think he won Offensive Rookie of the Year that year. Yeah, he did. Oh, Marcus Peters, underrated, even though he's kind of a little bitch sometimes. When Collins had a good rookie season, he had that iconic play of the returning the interception that went on for like 45 seconds because no one on the offense knew how to tackle.
Right through the hands of Austin and picked off on the ricochet by Landon Collins. And Collins has the pick. His first of the year, breaking one tackle after another. And he's got some blockers ahead like Jenkins and Casillas. And he's inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown!
Eddie Goldman is frustrating to talk about. It's either solid or below average. I'm going to put it in, the amount of bust here, too. And again, Vic Beasley, he's, like, okay for a little bit, but it's just, like, to have such short of a prime, it's hard to, like, say they helped improve the draft class a lot. Like, I don't know, if I was the Rams, would I have still taken Todd Gurley 10th overall? I feel like I would have, because he still ultimately helped him get to a Super Bowl. Even though they didn't win, he still was a great player for like 3 years. So we're going to put in solid. Where is it? 2014. Again, I feel like this is a go-to draft class. OBJ. Oh, yeah, I forgot about OBJ. Oh, Mike Evans was in this class, too. So, Greg Robinson, obviously a bust. Justin Gilbert, like I said. Eric Ebron, I liked, but wasn't that good. Ryan Shazier. It's really sad what happened to him. He could have been really good. Oh, Johnny Manziel. How did I forget about Johnny Manziel? Jesus. Marcus Smith, a giant bust. Kelvin Benjamin had a great rookie season, but then he got really fat. Jimmy Ward's decent. Teddy Bridgewater has been a good journeyman. Probably not a first-round pick, but DeMarcus Lawrence, Joe Antonio, Derek Carr is probably better than him. Oh, Devontae Adams is in this class. He's probably the top player. Oh, Aaron Donald, right. Yeah, Defensive Player of the Year. Best guard in the league for at least 5 years. Devontae Adams, C.J. Mosley, Joe Antonio. This is a good draft class. Or stacked. This is a stacked draft class. This is a very stacked draft class. 2013. Yeah, Sheldon Richardson, Eddie Lacy. I guess that's mean. Eddie Lacy was good for a little bit. Again, kind of got fat. Respectfully. Travis Kelce, right? Yeah, but, you can see, a lot of the best players in the 2013 class were not even first-round picks. There's 1 out of the top 5, or 2 out of the top 5. But, it's really not that good of a class. Tyrann Mathieu was 3rd. A lot of these guys that are the best players in this class were not first-round picks. So just based on that alone, I feel like the overall value is solid. But based on how many of the best players in the class fell out of the top rounds, is gonna put in below average or trash. I feel like it's trash. Yeah, I'm gonna start this in trash. 2012. This is one I don't even think I looked at because I was confused and scared. Oh my god, how did I forget Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner? Oh, this was the year that the Seahawks got Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irvin. Okay, so Andrew Luck was pretty good. Robert Griffin was kind of disappointing, even though he was okay for a bit, I feel like. Trent Richardson was just not what he was supposed to be. Just terrible ball carrier vision. He just was not able to find holes at all. Matt Khalil, Justin Blackman, Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner. The Seahawks draft classes from 2010 to 2012 were just ridiculous. Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Bobby Wagner, Russell Wilson, Earl Thomas. It's crazy. KJ Wright, Bruce Irvin. Fletcher Cox was great. Luke Kuechly retired very early, but I feel like he still could be a Hall of Famer. Kirk Cousins kind of found his groove later in his career. But, a lot of the best players are in the first rounds, obviously. So better picks by teams. Solid players, I feel like. I'm going to put this in the solid rating. Where is it? I think where I put it before, but that's just because I was confused and stupid. 2011 now. This is an interesting one because I know it was an incredible draft class, obviously. Marcel Darius, disappointing. Oh, AJ Green, I forgot about both of these guys. Tyrone Smith, stud. Still one of the best tackles in the league. Blaine Gabbert, only reason he's still in the league is because he doesn't throw that many picks, but other than that, he's terrible. J.J. Watt. Yeah, I knew I forgot about a ton of, like, incredible players. Robert Quinn was very underrated throughout his career, I feel like. Mike Pouncey was good. Mike Pouncey was pretty good. Prince Mukamara, who I think was a Bear, but I guess he played for the Giants. It was not, I mean, this is hard to rank because, like, out of a lot of these guys, it was not great. Muhammad Wilkerson, I liked, but he was not great. Yeah, like, overall, I feel like a lot of these guys should not have been first round picks overall, you know? Like, I feel like, but the amount of incredible players in this draft is bringing up that it has to be at least good. Just because for Cam Newton, J.J. Watt, Von Miller, Patrick Peterson, Julio Jones, Richard Sherman, like I said earlier in the video, Cameron Jordan, Cameron Hayward, Jaden Kelsey, like that's just automatically going to bring it up so much. A.J. Green, Justin Houston, who was solid and then had just the most ridiculous season ever. Robert Quinn, who also was pretty good and then had a ridiculous season. But yeah, I mean, there was also pretty good value, like, sprinkled around, you know? I mean, again, like, most of the players are first-round picks, so great picks by teams. But yeah, there's some studs sprinkled around, so this is gonna be stacked. There's a stacked class. 2010, who I also know I was forgetting a ton of guys for. Oh, and Ndamukong Suh. Jesus, that's embarrassing. Alright. Gerald McCoy was great. Trent Williams was, best tackle in the league. Joe Hayden, who I didn't know retired until this very second, was good. CJ Spiller was okay. Tyson Alualu is decent. Brandon Graham's great. James Pierre-Paul was really good. Earl Thomas is incredible. Marquise Pouncey, the other Pouncey brother, was also good. Even though both the Pouncey brothers kind of had short primes, I feel like. Well, when they did play, even though they retired early, they were very good. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, hopefully Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. NaVorro Bowman, I feel like if he played in the league longer, he might have made the Hall of Fame. He was pretty good, especially, 2013 to 2015. He was a menace, right? Just the whole 49ers defense was with Patrick Willis. I would say 2010 is good. It's good. 2009. 2009, Matt Stafford. Aaron Curry was a huge bust. Mark Sanchez, butt fumble, was a bust. Yeah, this isn't a great class. BJ Raji haunts my nightmares to this day. Michael Crabtree, I feel like he came in the league overhyped, and even though he was, like, decent, right? Brian Orakpo, I loved him. Malcolm Jenkins was obviously incredible. Roid Rage here was good for a decent amount of time. Larry English was not good for any amount of time. Josh Freeman was not very good. Jeremy Maclin, he had points. Weighted approximate value. Obviously, Matthew Stafford's going to be up there. Alex Mack, LaShawn McCoy, Shady. Clay Matthews. Can't believe I forgot about him. He also is in my nightmares. Max Unger was pretty good. Malcolm Jenkins. Julian Edelman, 7th round pick. Mike Wallace, Michael Johnson. But overall, I feel like this is solid or below average. I'm going to go with below average. Sadly. I don't think it's as bad as 20. It might be. Yeah, you're in trash. It's kind of trash. 2008. So Matt Ryan, Jared Mayo. Darren McFadden was decent for a little bit of time. Vernon Golston has a cool name, and that's about it. Jared Mayo. mean, it's not a very good class. Joe Flacco, I mean, yeah, he had a stretch, but overall, I feel like he wasn't very good. I mean, obviously, winning the Super Bowl helped push his career further than maybe it should have gone if he was on a different team with a different defense. Dwayne Brown was awesome with the Seahawks. Matt Forte, one of the most underrated running backs of all time. Josh Sitton, he was on the Bears for a bit. He was okay. He was great on the Packers. Deshaun Jackson, obviously, besides the part where he liked Hitler, he was pretty cool. Jordy Nelson was a good option to have for the Packers, I feel like. Chris Johnson, he did have a shorter prime, but obviously CJ2K is gonna bring up the class, even if it was a shorter prime. Same with like Priest Holmes when we get to him eventually. Keep Talib. Jamal Charles was awesome for a stretch. Ray Rice was just a menace in that elevator. John Sullivan, Pierre Garcon was pretty good. Dominic Cromartie. Yeah, this is not a great draft class. We're going to put it in below average. I feel like it was a little bit better. 2007, I feel like it's solid. I think that's what I put before. But, AP, I can't believe I completely forgot about Patrick Willis, who, again, he just had such a short run. But, I mean, I think this is our first class where there's a Hall of Famer, and there's 3 in the first round. And I didn't know Darrelle Revis was 2007, but he is. Calvin Johnson is obviously the most impressive because he only played till 2015 and was still a Hall of Famer. But, I mean, yeah, Jamarcus Russell, like I said, one of the biggest busts of all time. AP, at least top 15 running back of all time. Joe Thomas was awesome for the Browns, like one of the only good players on the Browns. Certain points, Ted Ginn was not worth a first-round pick, but he was a good return man. Patrick Willis, Marshawn Lynch is awesome. Leon Hall was pretty good. That might be a stretch. He played in the NFL. Brady Quinn was not very good, sadly. Adrian Peterson, Patrick Willis. I mean, I feel like this is a good class. I don't know if it's stacked. I mean, yeah, it was a pretty good class. Greg Olsen only being like, what is this, 15th is kind of mean. But, alright. Paul Posluszny, I liked him on the Jaguars. But, yeah, John Beeson was a menace, obviously, for a little bit. Alright, we're gonna throw that in good. No, you know what? We're gonna toss 2007 in stacked. I feel like 3 Hall of Famers in the first round, and probably more to come in the future throughout the draft is good enough to be stacked. And next up, we have 2006. Obviously, Vince Young, rookie year. Miko Ryans. I think he's the head coach of the Texans now. Reggie Bush had a good rookie season. Obviously, didn't live up to expectations. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, awesome name, also was pretty good. Vernon Davis, one of the most athletic tight ends in the league. Ernie Sims was good. Jay Cutler, I hate him. Chad Greenway was good for a little bit. Antonio Cromartie. Tamba Hali was a good edge rusher. Mercedes Lewis, somehow still in the league 15 years later. This is I feel like a pretty solid class. Like there was a lot of really hyped up prospects. Brandon Marshall, totally forgot about him. He was incredible. But like a lot of hyped up prospects, like with Mario Williams and Reggie Bush, that didn't end up living up to expectations. So I'm probably gonna leave this. I might leave this in just like solid, to be honest. I think that's what I'm gonna do. No, you know what? I think it's below average. Yeah, I'm tossing it in below average. Alright, 2005. Rookie of the years are Sean Merriman and Cadillac Williams. Alex Smith, first overall. Ended up having a solid career. Cedric Benson, RIP. DeMarcus Ware, one of the best linebackers, I guess, outside rushers of all time. Sean Merriman was very good. Derek Johnson was incredible. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, very good. Heath Miller. Yeah, makes sense. Aaron Rodgers, Logan Mankins, DeMarcus Ware, Alex Smith. Oh, Frank Gore, who also had a very, very long career. Roddy White, a great underrated receiver for the Falcons. Ryan Fitzpatrick, also a great journeyman quarterback, probably the best 7th-round quarterback of all time. Vincent Jackson, R.I.P. He was also very good, very underrated. Justin Tuck was good. Richie Incognito kind of wasn't insane, but that's okay. Darren Sproles, Short King, incredible punt returner. I would say this is a good draft, I feel like. It's not insane, but I feel like it's a good draft. 2004. Oh, Ben Roethlisberger, Jonathan Vilma. Obviously, all those quarterbacks drafted. Yeah, Eli Manning, Hall of Famer. This is a incredible class. Hall of Famer. R.I.P. He was awesome. Kellen Winslow, one of the worst human beings ever. That's, yeah, just an awful person. D'Angelo Hall was also good. He's probably best known for getting toasted by DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, somebody hurt. Damn, I'm already breaking ankles. Damn, further their pass, already breaking ankles on the route. Shit.
Reggie Williams, Ben Roethlisberger, obviously. Ben Watson managed to have a decently long career for the Patriots and Browns. Oh, Jared Allen was good for a lot of teams. I think he played for the Bears for a bit. He also was amazing for the Vikings and obviously the Chiefs. Vince Wilfork, absolute legend. Carlos Dansby, also a decently long career. The Browns, Cardinals. Steven Jackson, one of the best running backs of the early 2000s. Also played on the Falcons towards the end of his career. Matt Schaub, he had stretches, was mostly a decent backup quarterback. Yeah, this is a stacked class. This is definitely a stacked class. Just all the Hall of Famers right here, I feel like. I think Steven Jackson could still make the Hall of Fame. 2004 and stacked. Alright, 2003. Oh, yep. Terrell Suggs, Anquan Boldin, who I had forgotten about. Carson Palmer. He had stretches, played in the league for a long time. Good career. Andre Johnson, one of the best receivers in the leagues at times. Not a crazy class. Troy Polamalu was incredible, obviously. Marcus Trufant was really fun with the Seahawks. Terrell Suggs, obviously one of the best linebackers. Led him to Super Bowls. Larry Johnson, obviously rushed for 2,000 yards. Was very good for a little bit. Peanut Tillman was awesome with the Bears. So yeah, Carson Palmer, Kevin Williams. Oh, Lance Briggs, another Chicago legend, was also a stud. Anquan Boldin, Jason Witten, one of the best tight ends of all time. Asante Samuel, amazing cornerback. Robert Mathis was a great edge rusher. Good late round value. There's good talent sprinkled around. This is probably good. I would say 2003 is a good class. 2002. David Carr is not a good first overall pick. Obviously, Julius Peppers, Hall of Famer. Roy Harrington wasn't very good. Mike Williams was a bust. Ryan McKinney, Roy Williams. Dwight Freeney was very good. Dante Stallworth was decent. Jeremy Shockey was really good. Obviously, Albert Haynesworth was good with the Tennessee Titans. Got his bag and stopped trying. Greatest safety of all time, Ed Reed. Yeah, it's an okay class. Ed Reed, Dwight Freeney. These are all Hall of Famers. I don't know if Clinton Portis is making the Hall of Fame. I kind of doubt it. Just because of how many incredible running backs were in the early 2000s. That's like, even though he had a great career, it's hard to make the Hall of Fame for him. But the three shoe-in Hall of Famers, yeah, this is trash or below average. We're going to put in below average just because still there are studs in it, but the rest of the class is pretty mediocre. 2001, just 2 more seasons here. Richard Seymour and LT. Michael Vick was very good. Steve Hutchinson was good with the Vikings. Todd Heap was a good tight end. Also went to the Super Bowl with Baltimore. Drew Brees, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, somehow didn't ever win MVP. Probably gonna be at the top. Yep. Reggie Wayne, obviously one of the best wide receivers in the league. Him and Marvin Harrison would tear it up with Peyton Manning. Steve Smith, one of the greatest wide receivers. Chad Ochocinco, Santana Moss had a pretty long career. The Commanders and the Jets. This is a I think this is a good class. No, it's solid. It's solid. 2000. This has obviously Brian Urlacher and Tom Brady, but other than that, it's kind of mid. Plaxico Burress was okay with the Giants. Kind of shot himself in the foot with his career. Jamal Lewis was also good at times. Courtney Brown, a massive bust. John Abraham was pretty good. Sebastian Janikowski, one of the most ridiculous picks of all time. Alright, and now all we should really do is sort by weighted approximate value. Obviously, Tom Brady at the top. Brian Urlacher, John Abraham. I feel like this isn't a great class. Like Jamal Lewis, obviously rushed for 2,000 yards, but other than that. Plaxico Burress, we already talked about him. John Alexander and Julian Peterson were both good for the Seahawks. Yeah, this is definitely a below average class despite the GOATs being in it.